Hi, my name is Kelsey, and for my hot cup of culture experience, I chose to read the book titled Soul on Ice by Eldridge Cleaver. I chose this book because I couldn't do the international buddy program due to having to take care of a baby and an injured husband at home this semester. I looked through the menu of books that you guys gave us and looked on Amazon to find the summaries of all these options. And Soul on Ice was actually not my first choice of books listed. But I thought that I was supposed to have an assignment that allowed us to get to know people from different cultures and stuff, so even though it didn't interest me the most, that's what I chose, because I thought I could learn something new. This book was a series of essays written by Eldridge Cleaver. Mr. Cleaver was an African American who lived during the time of the Civil Rights Movement. He wrote these essays while he was in prison on charges of marijuana use and rape. I just thought I could understand what African Americans were going through during that time, and I thought I could understand the hurt and anger and the embarrassment and all the other emotions that they went through. I thought I knew until I read this book. Eldridge Cleaver taught me that I had no idea the level of these emotions that were present. My eyes and mind were opened up while reading this book, and it was more than just anger towards white people. It was absolute hate and absolute disgust. I don't even think I can find a word that actually describes how much he hated white people, but he hated them so much for what they did to the black race that he went out and raped white women to get back at them. So I thought I knew and could try to understand how they felt, but now I can't. I don't think I'll ever be able to sympathize for all their race went through in America. I'm ashamed to think that some of my ancestors might have been part of their cruel treatment. I think now I understand more than I did, but I still can't imagine feeling that strongly. I liked that it taught me more about other minorities' beliefs and thoughts on the civil rights movement too, but I didn't really agree with everything that the author said. He kept saying that he wanted equal treatment and he wanted there to be no difference at all between black people and white people in America. But the whole time it was obvious that he didn't actually believe that blacks and whites were equal. He didn't even call the country America. He either called it Black America or White America. He kept talking about fairness and wanting equality, but I don't think equality is really what he had in mind. I think that he had way too much hatred in his heart for equality, and he didn't want to be equal. He wanted the white men to be punished for what they did. And basically, I think he wanted revenge, not equality. I can almost understand why he felt that way, but in a way, I think he was being more racist than some of the white people he was complaining about. The Civil War had already happened, which means that so many white people had already given their lives to fight for black people's rights and equal treatment. And there were white people fighting for equality, but he still saw them as terrible people. He assumed that all white people were the same and all bad, but if that were true, then slavery would still possibly be the norm in America, and obviously it's not. I understand that what happened to those people wasn't fair, but I don't think you should fight racism with more racism. And he definitely shouldn't have raped white women just to get back at the race. He even complained about white people cheering when a black boxer won the national championship. He didn't think that they were cheering for a black person just because they liked him and thought he was a great boxer. He assumed that they were cheering because he thought that it was good that black people were only involved in sports because they didn't deserve to use their brains. And he not only complained about white people, but also Mexican Americans, homosexuals, and women. So, like I said, I think he's just fighting racism with more racism, and I don't think that's really fair.